What is up, fellow nerds, and welcome to Not Your Status Quo's Morbius trailer breakdown.
If you like what we do here, make sure you hit that like button and share it with all your friends.
Yeah, and hit the bell to be notified of future videos. And, like Doug said, just share it with everybody. We like to entertain you people.
Oh, and don't forget to subscribe, too.
So the trailer begins with young Michael Morbius. He's on crutches, kind of walking to class, gets beaten up by some bullies. He gets saved by a guy who turns into, it looks like his lifelong mentor. At least that's kind of what the trailer.
But I think he kind of says, "I've known you all your life," so it's not exactly a normal thing that you say to a human being, but for movie purposes, I guess it works.
It helps, relate to the character.
I don't know. I say it to my daughter.
Keith, I've known you for several years.
Yes, you have.
No doubt
As
about
you
that.
too, Dave.
Yes, you have.
We find out he's suffering from a rare blood disease. He's also a genius.
Is he also an entrepreneur and the voice of the generation? Oh, I'm sorry. That's Kanye West.
Yes. and we hear that he, if anyone can cure this illness, it's him.
Yeah.
Then we see, he grows up to be a Nobel Prize-winning doctor. He believes he's put on this earth to save lives and cure this disease.
Mm-hmm.
We see him working in the labs for a cure and even helping treat a young sick girl. He's got a smile on his face like he really enjoys what he's doing. He looks like he's almost on death's doorstep. He looks like he's dying. They really did a good job. Almost, I was thinking Christian Bale from The Machinist.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's
not
good comparison.
as bad, but it's still that same effect.
Yeah.
I don't know if they, Jared Leto lost all that way.
I have a feeling he probably did because he's been known to be a method actor.
Yeah, he's a really good method actor.
Yeah, so he most likely, this might have been shot over, I don't know exactly how long it took to film this, but I could definitely see him losing a bunch of weight and also packing on a bunch of muscle, too.
And, the worse he looks now, the better he looks when, later.
True. That's true. It seems like he's running out of time, and he's really kind of getting desperate for a cure. And then we, in a voiceover, he talks about taking an extreme and illegal step to find a cure.
Now that definitely carries over from the comics because that was kind of like the same boat that he was in, where he was just really looking for this cure and he was willing to rush it. And that's how he was portrayed in a lot of the Spider-Man comics that he was in, where he was willing to cut corners and speed up. Instead of doing long-term testing, he was trying to speed it up and get to the results, and that's what ends up getting to this accident.
Yeah, we see the bat he has pinned down, so obviously he's looking towards that for a cure.
Mm-hmm.
And then we see some shady military types, coming off a helicopter,
Of course.
in a remote location, and that door or whatever they're kind of standing at is set up, and Morbius cuts his hand and kind of puts it up to it and it summons that swarm of bats. For some reason, I kept thinking Batman Begins.
Yeah, with all the swirling bats, I thought that too.
I thought a lot about the Batman comparisons with this movie, too.
Yeah. I always kind of got that, from like, there was another DC character, it was like an Otherworld Batman, where he was basically Morbius. I kind of got that kind of similarity, with that, with Morbius here, but, so this door thing that he puts his hand against, to me it looks like it's got strings, so is this supposed to be maybe a sound generator and summoning the bats that
maybe.
way?
At first, when I first saw it, I thought it was like a dimensional portal at first.
Huh.
But I think you're more right. I do think one of the things you may have missed in this video is everyone is running away. All the military guys are running away while Michael's standing there. So we know they're Army. They're not Marines, because Marines would have stayed with them.
I was never in the service, so I can't, these guys. Mm-hmm.
Get them in the comments.
And then, kind of at what cost, we see Morbius's fiance, wonders about this new cure. And then we start to see it. He's transforming from what we saw earlier to, super strength, kind of superhuman, speed bordering on what looks like Nightcrawler-esque teleportation, and the use of echolocation.
Yeah.
But it comes at a cost.
It does, yeah.
He has the thirst for human blood.
The thirst. Yeah, which kind of makes me wonder if they're going to start to introduce some of the other, sort of vampire types that give in a little bit more to it. Like, I think I read somewhere that they already did cast somebody to play a vampire by the name of Hunger. That's basically what it is. He's similar to Morbius in a way, but he actually gives in to the thirst where Morbius is usually trying to fight it.
Yeah, Morbius kind of tries to stay more human.
Yeah.
I wonder if he's going to show up in this movie.
If he stays more human, the disease remains curable.
Right.
You know,
exactly.
Which he in the comics at some point he does create a cure, but it doesn't work on himself.
Mm-hmm.
You know, then we see a sequence kind of showcasing what Morbius can do here. We see Tyrese Gibson as Simon Stroud, an FBI agent on a case, and I think he's going to be dealing with all the murders
Yeah,
that
probably.
it seems like Morbius has been doing to kind of cure his bloodlust. And I don't know
So
if
he is actually killing people when he's draining their blood. Then, all right.
well, and it looks that way, and like the one nurse kind of running down the hallway where he's kind of upside down. I don't know if he's kind of floating or sticking to the ceiling, and she's kind of running away. And at first, I wondered are they going to kind of have him be very Dexter-esque, where he's only using this bloodlust, only drinking the blood of really bad people.
I don't know.
That is a deal he makes in the comics, that he will no longer kill anybody. They have to be a guilty party.
Yeah, I was kind of wondering what they were going to do with that, because I know they tried to tame down a bit of the murdery impulses of Venom. So I was wondering if they were going to go that route with Morbius as well.
I think they will. I think they don't want him to be too... They want this to be... Even though we don't know the rating on this yet, they probably want to kind of get some of that Venom money. And if it's R and...
Make it a more of a lovable anti-hero eventually, or something like that.
I can't remember. Was Venom R?
No, it was
PG-13.
PG-13.
Yeah.
And then we see Matt Smith kind of very briefly, the worst doctor.
He was. Sorry, Matt.
It doesn't really give anything away from his character, but we do know he's playing Lox's Crown. It's Michael's best friend who turns his bitter enemy. He also has the blood disease, and he wants to cure, and Michael won't really give it to him, and it kind of puts them at odds. Mm-hmm. I'm assuming that's going to happen in the comics, or that's going to happen in this movie, but
Most likely,
we don't know for sure. It seems like
It seems like it's been a pretty, from what we've seen on this, pretty accurate origin story for what,
Yeah, for the most part. I am curious, we were kind of talking about this off camera, about who exactly the doctor might be. He said it's supposed to be Morbius's fiance. I personally don't remember from the comics who his fiance was.
Martine, I forget her last
It's
name.
Martine something.
Martine something? All right.
Hey, do you guys know? Let us know.
Yeah.
Or we'll say something. We'll put something in the notes. Then you kind of see that Michael Morbius in full vampire mode.
Yeah.
Which
face.
that screenshot was released a couple days before the thing came out. When I first looked at it, I was like, "Oh, this is gonna be fake. There's no way it's gonna look this good." And it was real.
Mm-hmm.
And man, I was very happy to see that, because Jared Leto being cast kind of threw me off.
Yeah,
but I think
that was kind of worrisome.
With the way this trailer looked and the way he was doing. He's an excellent actor, and I think I now have to blame the director of Suicide Squad for his Joker more than him, because I think he's doing a great job the little bit we've seen.
I
as
think it was a
Morbius.
mix of things as far as the Joker goes. Like, I don't think it was just the direction. I think a lot of it was like the weird style they were going for with this Joker. So it was like a mix between, like, okay, here's the makeup direction we're going for, here's the ultimate directing of the movie, here's all the scenes that we're going to cut out and not put back into the movie.
And it was almost, too, like they wanted to be so different than Heath Ledger's that they just, took it in a direction that I personally didn't enjoy.
No, not very many people.
I actually liked, I didn't like Joker, the movie, but I liked that Joker better than Jared Leto's Joker. So.
And then we see another huge reveal. We see him walking down the street, and we see Spider-Man on the...
graffitied on the wall.
And it says murderer on it,
Yep.
which I don't know about you all, but I think we are all in agreement. As soon as I saw that, I'm like, okay, this is definitely taking place after Far From Home.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone thinks he killed Mysterio, and they know Peter Parker is basically Spider-Man. So that could lead some very interesting things.
So what it could definitely mean, at least we think so, is that this now ties Morbius into the Spider-Verse, or the Sony Spider-Verse at the very least, possibly the MCU. I'm not sure where the carryover would be.
Well, and we know Sony and Marvel came to some agreement to let Tom Holland be Spider-Man in the MCU, and some of the things I've read, none of this has been confirmed, is that, you know, the Spider characters can kind of go back and forth between the movies. Things can be referenced in the Sonyverse and in the MCU together, and then we see something even bigger. You know, we know characters can go about. We see something at the end of this trailer that really, when I saw it, I was like smashing my hands on. That would have been a good one to have a trailer reaction to, because I did not expect to see Michael Keaton looking like his Vulture character, you know, and he's like, Michael Morbius, when did you decide to stop playing a good guy or whatever? And he's like, what's up, Doc?
Yeah, he was very much, okay, so I'm hesitant. I definitely geeked out completely. Told them that I absolutely did when I first saw that in the preview, but I don't want to I don't want my hopes to get up too high, just in case Sony pulls the Sony, and it turns out this is some other character that Michael Keaton is playing, unrelated to the Vulture, which I don't know why they would do that, but it is definitely something they would do.
Yeah, it's something that's kind of insane to me, to cast that person in such a close role and then not make him the Vulture would not, it just seems insane. I think that even Sony sees that.
Yeah, people would be absolutely up in arms if they hinted he was the Vulture, and almost, I mean, my first instinct was Sinister Six. Oh, they're kind of putting together to that. And he turns out to be someone else, I would be more upset than the Mandarin twist in Iron Man 3.
Well, I tell you what, if you guys see within the next couple of days massive reshoots for Morbius to put the Vulture in, you'll know that Sony was like, oh no!
I can see some Sony executives sitting around. Did you guys see that Not Your Status Quo video? We've got to make him the Vulture. Get Kevin Feige on the horn. We need to make this happen.
Okay, Michael, we know that you were going to play Greg the janitor, but turns out we got to make it the Vulture, man.
He's like, I don't have my equipment.
Well, and you know what? I was thinking about this last night. A lot of people were saying that Michael Keaton's Vulture was going to be in Far From Home, and then he turned out not to be in it. And I wonder if somewhere he had leaked that, I'm going to be on set playing the Vulture again, and everyone assumed it was Far From Home.
But it
had no
Morbius.
clue it was actually for Morbius.
Huh. That could be. I hadn't thought of that. Yeah.
And who knows how far they're going to expand this universe. I read today that it was called the Sony Marvel Universe, that's SMU. Who knows how far they're going to expand it, or if they even have a plan. But the first movie in this universe was supposed to be...
Sinister Six. That's pretty much their end game, as long as they get that out.
the first movie was Venom. This is supposed to be the second movie. You know, I guess maybe they're seeing how it goes.
We got Venom 2 coming out.
Yeah, that'd be the third.
Maybe we can get a standalone Rhino movie.
I'd watch that.
With Paul Giamatti?
With Paul Giamatti, yeah.
He's a good actor. I'll say that.
No, he's a great actor, once again.
Even better Rhino.
But, I mean, okay, you know, we kind of talk about our hype levels after these videos. I mean, we went from a few weeks ago talking about, you know, there's been nothing on Morbius.
To fever pitch.
Yeah, I mean, I saw this and I was like, you know, smash my hand on the table like, oh my God, when's June? I need to see this movie now.
You have to wait for July, though.
Well, June, I'm going into a coma in June, and then I'll just go to July.
Well, we'll all put ourselves inside a freezer and just unfreeze us in July.
Just hopefully I don't go fried for Futurama enough.
Right.
But what do you guys think? I mean, what was your level before seeing the trailer, and what was it after? You know, let us know. And we'll talk to you guys soon.